Hello, I just wanted to share this new mini hobby that I started taking an interest in, and maybe just wanted to share it, and maybe it might be something that you might want to do as well. So, I actually ordered a couple of them. If you like doing puzzles or you want something more challenging than a typical puzzle, then this might be for you. Um, I ordered a couple of these. I will put in the description where you can find them. Uh, this is a really inexpensive hobby. These you can find them as low as like maybe $1 or less if you catch them on like some crazy sale. Otherwise, you can easily find these for somewhere between $2 to $3 each. So, and they come in different forms. So I just happened to get a bunch of Star Wars themed puzzles. And for example, this one is a X-Wing fighter. That's what it'll actually look like when it's complete. And on the back, it just shows some other models that you can purchase. And you'll notice that each of these kind of have their own different brand. Some they're not all quite consistent in terms of like packaging and what's inside. For example, I've noticed in one of these that I put together that it had some instructions that look like they were copied from somewhere. Here's an example of one. It's just a sheet of paper, and it was actually kind of hard to read. Yeah. So if you look at the instructions here, you can see the graininess of this copy. And comparing to one of the other different brands, these instructions were much clearer. You can see how they're a lot clearer than the first one I showed. So just to give a better idea of how this works is these usually come in sheets of metal. So here is an example of one that I'm working on. This is actually a TIE fighter from Star Wars, and you can see all these little pieces is a part of the puzzle. Basically the way it works is you take one of these pieces and you kind of like you might have to twist them a little bit to get them out of this metal sheet. And the interesting thing is, since this is metal, there are many times where you're going to end up bending pieces in order to put them together. So, as an example, this puzzle is currently in progress, and I'm going to show you just a small portion of this one. Actually contains at least 4 or 5 pieces here. So like this wing here was actually a small flat piece that I had to bend, as well as this one, and then this bottom piece was actually one whole piece that I bent, and this upper piece here was another piece that I had to bend. And the way they secure together is you can kind of see these little tabs sticking out, and what you'll need to do is you'll definitely need like pliers, and what you'll end up doing is you'll just like take a tab and just bend it a certain direction in order to secure it in place. So the very first one that I've completed, here's an example of one. You can see the metal engraved design and texture. Since this was my first one, you might encounter times where you didn't secure parts as securely as you'd like, so that's why for some of these it's a little loose here, but in general I'm happy with the end result of this one. Looks pretty nice, and I think it's a pretty good mini hobby to have. You kind of, once you start looking at the websites and purchasing one or two, you might end up wanting to collect some more and do more puzzles. So that's the interesting thing. So yeah, so this is just more of an introduction of this little mini hobby if you're interested. And if you're interested in seeing more, I'm currently working on putting together the others, and if you'd like to see the end result, then let me know in the comments and I'll make another video to kind of show you the end result and maybe even more details of the process of how I put some of these together. So I hope someone who watches gets interested in this as well. But thanks for watching the video.